adequate national response. Joining us now, political commentator Michael Reagan. Michael, it is always great to have you here on America's Forum. And we're very pleased to have you, sir.
Thank you very much, JG.
Do you agree that the Republican criticism aimed at President Obama is accurate, that he has underplayed the real dangers of Ebola?
Yeah, you know, right now, I can be honest with you, I think it's like anything else. It's like the day my father was shot, and I asked Mike Lutey that day, how'd this happen? He said, you know, Michael, we train all the time, do everything we can, but you just can't stop the crazy. So he was absolutely right. And what's going on with the Ebola is even though it's old to us, it's also new to us. All these things are all of a sudden happening to us. And I don't think you could sit there and blame Barack Obama. You can blame him for a lot of things, but you can't blame Barack Obama for, you know, the hospital allowing a man with Ebola to, in fact, leave the hospital. You can't blame Barack Obama for a family that was supposed to stay in their homes, leaving their homes, sending their kids to school. You can't blame everything on the planet on Barack Obama. Sometimes it just happens, and you've got to deal with it. Do I think Ebola is a problem? Yes, I do. Do I worry about the government being able to handle it? Yes, I do. But you just can't always blame Barack Obama for every ill and everything that happens on the planet that we live in. And the Republicans and the Democrats need to get over always trying to affix blame somewhere for what is going on and just fix the damn stuff.
Well, Congressman Ted Poe was on our program earlier, Michael. He had a suggestion on the action the president could take in terms of dealing with this as a public health crisis. Let's take a listen to what Ted Poe had to say, and I'd like to get your reaction following our listening to it.
I think the CDC needs to be forthright in telling the American public exactly what is occurring, not to be alarmist, but just to tell us what's taking place, so citizens have a right to know how this disease is affecting the United States.
So Ted Poe is saying CDC has to be a bit more candid. Would you share that assessment, Michael?
Well, I think candid in the way, in fact, the way you get it. You know, I think that's what people need to know. How is it that you can contract the Ebola virus? What are the ways? How to be careful not to do this? But remember, this is all coming in from West Africa. These are people getting off of planes from, you know, Liberia. They're getting off of planes from West Africa. This is what we need to really pay attention to, are testing those people getting on the planes and off the planes coming from that part of the world into the United States of America. The cameraman you're talking about, cameraman NBC, in that area of the world. The man we're talking about in Texas came from that area of the world. So that is the place where we need to make sure that people with the possibility of that disease, that virus, not get on planes, not fly to the United States of America. And if they do land planes, then they need to be tested as we used to test people for tuberculosis and other things of that nature. We need to be testing for this virus to protect Americans. The CDC can be very, very forthright in that and to tell us what we need to be worried about and what we don't need to be worried about in the way you contract that virus.
Well, along that line, we got about a minute left here, Michael. Ted Poe is very specific. He's written a letter to the president saying, Mr. President, use your executive authority to stop airline flights from West Africa into the United States and from American air carriers to bring passengers in from those nations. Would you agree with that?
Well, I think that, yeah, I think given the information, if the information is there that in fact this is going to be the problem that it very well could be, then in fact the President of the United States could offer an executive order to be able to do that. But what are the airlines doing? I mean, what are the airlines doing? Why is everybody always waiting for an executive direction from the President of the United States? What are the airlines doing that are flying people from West Africa to the United States? What are the airports doing that are accepting planes from that area of the world? Do we always have to have an executive order from the President of the United States to do maybe the right thing? Maybe we just need to do the right thing, and trying to affix blame somewhere else if all goes to hell.
And we will be back with more with Michael Reagan after this.